It's the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia, with your host, Bob Snap.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia. Thank you for being here. Today's video is on Otis Campbell. Actually, it's 10 sobering facts about Hal Smith, the man who portrayed Otis Campbell. Hal Smith, a lovable kook. When the Andy Griffith Show was being developed, producer Sheldon Leonard was determined to find a lovable kook characters to surround leading man Andy Griffith and Mayberry. In each case, the actor was told it might be a one-off part, maybe lasting for only 1 or 2 episodes, he says. When the chemistry worked, as it did with Barney Fife and Otis and Floyd, Sheldon or producer Aaron Rubin would sweep in and tell the actor that the part might just work out. Background for Otis. 1964, the Tampa Bay Times offered up a profile of Hal Smith in which they provided a bit of history for the Otis character based on the actor's point of view. Otis is picked-on kind of guy who is not understood by his wife, hence he hits the bottle. The missus doesn't allow Otis around the house when he's sozzled, so the jail becomes his second home. Hal Smith felt Otis was a dignified drunk. It's the best kind of drunk a man can be. Pays well, you never get a hangover. I do a show on the average once every 3 weeks, and I think that's good. Town drunk could get obnoxious. In one case, Hal Smith was apparently a negative influence. Alan Newsom is the host of Mayberry's podcast, 2 Chairs, No Waiting. And he did an episode that was focused on Hal Smith. First thing he points out is that the actor was not a drinker beyond perhaps a social situation. I wanted to mention that, he explains, because one of the stories I'm fixing to tell you about is actually related to that. There was a great book published called More Than Otis, No Bull, a salute to Hollywood actor Hal Smith. It's written by John Mashad III. It got some nice articles in there, and I wanted to read just a little bit out of one of them. It's called The Prince of Fame, where he had talked to Hal Smith and got his information. Becoming a success in Hollywood can be a blessing or a curse. The personalities portraying characters, he reads from the book. After Hal appeared on the Andy Griffith Show as lovable Otis Campbell, he discovered a world of typecasting and was sometimes irritated by people criticizing his character. I was in a hardware store one time, and my son Terry was with me, he said. There was a guy looking through some nuts and bolts and stuff, and he looked up at me and said, "Oh, you're the guy from the Andy Griffith Show. I hate you." Hal said to him, "Wait a minute, what do you mean?" He explained to Hal that his brother became an alcoholic after seeing Otis drunk on an episode of the Andy Griffith Show. "You caused my brother to drink. He saw you drinking, and he wanted to do it because of you." Smith said he defended himself, emphasizing that Otis had never been filmed drinking out of a bottle of any sort. In fact, the only time the audience ever saw him drink anything was when they gave him something to sober him up. Otis the drunk had a negative impact on Hal Smith's son. Newsom also explains the character also affected the life of his only son, Terry. They used to call him Little Otis at Brentwood Academy. He never really liked that. When I took him to school, the other kids gave me funny looks, so I didn't know if they thought I was an actor or a drunk, said Hal Smith. Finally, one day a kid asked Terry, "Is your dad Otis? Is he a method actor?" Terry replied, "Yep, he practices every Saturday night." Hal Smith Day. The town where he grew up, Messina, New York, in 1964, paid tribute to him with a Hal Smith Day. Journalist and author Lawrence P. Gooley wrote an in-depth profile of the actor and described the event. Virtually every business and every family in town became involved in the planning, he noted. With such crowds expected that tickets and reservations for many events were in hot demand. Including in the festivities were a group breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a royal welcome that featured a crown made of what else? Aluminum from the local plant, a visit to the hospital where he entertained patients, an autograph session at a vacant store transformed by area merchants into replica of the Mayberry jail, all-day limousine service, band music at several venues, the theater playing movies that Hal appeared in, and autographs for each attendee. A reunion with old classmates, induction as a member of the St. Regis Indians, and at the Highland Hotel that night, Hal appeared in the floor show. It was without a doubt one of the greatest days of his life. For a man who earned a wonderful living with his voice, he was left nearly speechless when several dignitaries and old friends spoke his praises early in the day. Deeply moved, he replied, "All that I can say is thank you. I can't keep back the tears." Embracing his inner Otis. By the 1980s, says Newsom, Hal had learned to accept the popularity of Otis. He began to attend Mayberry reunions, did National Mad commercials, signed autographs, and attended charity shows. He said, "It took me some time to get away from playing a lot of drunk roles. I was paid good for them. People today love the character and the show. It's unbelievable. They come up to you and they want to hug you. I enjoy making people happy," as Otis. Otis and a return to Mayberry. Hal Smith was offered the opportunity to reprise the character in the 1986 TV movie Return to Mayberry. Only at that point, Otis had cleaned up his act and was driving an ice cream truck. And the ongoing legacy of Hal Smith, Otis the Drunk. Hal Smith married to Louise C. Smith from 1936 until her death in 92. Died on January 28th of 94 at the age of 77 of a heart attack. It's been 30 years, yet the character he played and the show itself continues to live on. Broadly speaking, Otis the Drunk was one of the several comedy actors orbiting around Andy, the normal straight man, points out Daniel Devise, but Otis also served a more specific purpose. Here's something I wrote in Andy and Dawn. Hal and Otis the Drunk was more than a running gag. His very presence in the jail and his ready access to the keys reminded viewers of Mayberry's essential benevolence, just like Barney having the one bullet that he wasn't supposed to actually use, and Aunt Bee showing up at lunchtime with a picnic basket full of food. In the end, I think Otis was a strong enough character to become something of an archetype. Like Floyd the bumbling barber and Gomer the oafish mechanic. Enthused Hal Smith at one point. It was a great role, and I loved every minute of it. And probably, aside from maybe Foster Brooks, one of the best drunks ever portrayed. I always thought Don Knotts did a great job playing a drunk as well. But Hal Smith had it nailed, and he was just good with everything he did. He played Santa Claus several times in several different shows, even cartoons. And voiceovers, he did Winnie the Pooh, an owl. Before anybody says anything, no, he wasn't the original Winnie the Pooh, but he took over when that guy quit. And he did Davy and Goliath, and I think he was on Miguel the Gorilla. He was on a lot of stuff. The Flintstones. I mean, he was just great, really, really good. I think him and Alan Melvin had to have run into each other a lot. And Parley Bear was also a good drunk, too, I thought. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please don't forget about classic rural comedies. You think I've been doing it long enough, I know the title. It's on Donna Douglas, who played Ellie Mae Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies. Beautiful Donna Douglas. You want to see that. I got some really good pictures over there for you. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like this video. Thank you very much. You guys have a great, great day. God bless you, and I'm praying for you.